I suggest you study this.
The views and opinions expressed on the Faygoluvers Podcast do not necessarily reflect those of us here at Faygoluvers.net. Some episodes may contain disturbing content. Discretion is advised.
Sorry, if you're neither insane, nor clowns, nor a posse, I'm not interested.
Faygoluvers. Faygoluvers. Faygoluvers.
What's up, ninjas, and welcome to episode number 7 of the Faygoluvers Podcast. I'm your homie Roscoe. I'm going to be your host for this episode of the podcast. Today is November 27th, and we have a fresh episode for you ninjas. On this episode of the podcast, we have the Jokerr. That's right. Now, we've already done an exclusive with the Jokerr just for the website. Haven't had him on the podcast. On the exclusive, we talked mainly about Juggalo-related shit. A lot of questions and answers that you Juggalos wanted to know about. This episode's a little bit different. We kind of just, it's more chill, more laid back, we even talk about the fucking weather. So, there you go, ninjas. On this episode also for the segment, on the next episode of the podcast, and I'm letting you ninjas know now in advance, I've been saying I'm gonna do it, but on the next episode of the podcast, we have our homie Intrinsic, and we actually have 5 or 6 minutes of just a clip of that interview for you ninjas to listen to. So that's going to be this episode's segment for the podcast. Hells yeah. We had a surprise Hatchet Herald ninjas. So much news to go through. If I actually would have divided this all into like 12 or 13 segments for the news portion of the episode, it would have been a long fucking news portion. So I tried to condense it down a lot. So you'll see what I'm talking about once we get there. We got some reviews on iTunes, ninjas. Thank you so much. So for the first time ever, we're going to be debuting our segment titled 4 or 5 star reviews, where anybody who gives me a 4 or 5 star review on iTunes, you get your shit read on the air. People who give me 1 star, fuck you, you don't get your shit read. The fundraiser for the Rude Boy is going down December 10th at the Diesel in Detroit. We spoke about that on the last episode, where we actually spoke to the Rude Boy. If you can make it out there and help support the Rude Boy in his time of need right now, he's going through kind of a tough time. He just went through, that open heart surgery. If you want to hear all about that, check out the last episode of the podcast. But yeah, for more info on that, check out the link in the description. Yet again, the Faygoluvers Podcast has been mentioned on the Juggalo Show. That's right, when Scotty D was there, he was kind of just going through his news portion, and Rude Boy reminded him that he would be featured on the last episode of the podcast, and it was dope. Thank you so much, Rudy, for bringing that up, and check out the sound clip.
And that's all I've got for the Underground News this week.
Yeah, I got to add something. This Sunday on the Faygoluvers Podcast.
Somebody just said that in the chat.
Make sure you check out Rude Boy.
Roscoe.
Yeah. That's going to be, we did the interview a couple days ago, and Roscoe is the guy who conducted the interview, and I got to tell you something, Sugar Slam, that guy is he's really good, man.
Is he?
And it doesn't surprise me, because coming from the Faygoluvers family, it's always good shit. So
all right,
I had to plug that, since Faygoluvers ain't plugging their own fucking podcast.
He's plugging it on the chat, and everyone's going to listen.
Love it. Hey, thanks, Scotty D. We love you, homeboy.
All right, Scotty.
Talking to you guys.
Dope. Thank you so much, Rudy. And I just want to let you know that when I heard that, I was fucking flying high all night from that, homie. So thank you so much. One last thing that I want to bring up before we get into the news is our homie Chad Karsten. He was in Michigan on his Faygoluvers grind, getting in them interviews, doing his journalism, and, just having a great time. Meanwhile, back in Laurel, Montana, his hometown, his house was getting robbed by some assholes. Now, unfortunately, these ninjas took, personal shit that doesn't mean anything to anybody except for Chad, like Christmas cards and birthday cards and, shit from relatives and whatnot, which is kind of fucked up. Either way, he's not asking for people to help him out with replacing everything that was taken, but he does want ninjas to help him out with replacing his HP Pavilion laptop and his external hard drive, which had all of his past journalism shit on it. I couldn't even fucking imagine, homie. Either way, he just wants some help getting that shit back so that he can get back on his journalism career, back on his Faygoluvers grind, and, keep pushing out them interviews and doing that shit for the ninjas, homies. So if you can, hit up his GoFundMe page. And actually, let me just check it out. Let me see where he's at right now. He's $50 away from reaching his goal, ninjas. $50. So, you know, if 10 ninjas head over there right now and just donate $5, he will be at his goal. So hit that shit up for sure and help out our Faygoluvers homie Chad. Alright, ninjas. I think I've said enough. Let's just get right into the news.
And I can see you so judgmental. Everything you say to me, you're playing with my mental. I wanna fill your head up with this lead just like a pencil. It's too sinful to know what we've been through. I just wanna know why I can't seem to put the pipe down. Been paranoid since they killed Trayvon and Mike Brown. Cops go crazy, violate your civil rights now. So I ain't pulling over when I see the lights now.
So the first piece of news that we're going to touch on today involves our homie Killa C. His album Cowell Hill just dropped on November 15th. It was announced back in August that he was recording and that his new shit would be released in a couple months. Well, it did drop. The 13-track LP is available on iTunes, Amazon, and cdbaby.com. After that dropped, we heard from a few people letting us know that Killa C is actually a Christian now and that the album is Christian-themed. Well, the BillingsGazette.com actually released an article all about Killa C and the new album. And I did not know this shit. Maybe some of you ninjas knew this, but Killa C is actually a high school teacher now at Skyview High School. And apparently he's not too happy with the content of his previous releases, and he kind of said that he just took all of his old CDs and put them in his garage. And he's hoping that that this new album is going to shed some of the excess baggage from those old releases, whatever the hell that means. And one thing I do note in the Faygoluvers article is that this is the only time you're going to see a Christian-themed album being released under a name like Killa C. So that's kind of dope anyways. But yeah, you know what, homie? If you're happy doing your thing, and I heard a bunch of tracks off the album, and I'm not going to lie, the shit actually sounds dope. And the song that you're hearing right now in the background, Proposal, well, just have a listen to this for a second, homies. Got some dope Insane Clown Posse news for you ninjas. Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope will both be heading out on their own little mini tours at the same time. Shit is looking dope. It's going to span 5 cities. Just at the moment, more dates could be coming soon. The article on Faygoluvers is constantly getting updated right now as information is rolling in for us. So definitely hit up that link in the description of the show and get all the details there. See if they're heading to your area. Fuck yeah, homies.
You and I, it's been tough, but through it all I won't give up.
Got some strange news for you ninjas, some strange music news for you ninjas. Our homie Travis O'Gwyn, the CEO of Strange Music, has started a pop music division of Strange Music. And the first group that they've signed is a group called Above Waves. And a lot of you ninjas will recognize Ryan Bradley. He's one of the ninjas in the group. He sang a lot of hooks and a lot of backup vocals and shit on past Tech 9 tracks, Tech 9 releases. And Ninja's got a super voice. I can totally 100% understand why Strange Music has decided to start a pop division. They've been making nothing but dope decisions thus far. And I'm just going to read to you what Travis had to say on his Instagram about the group Above Waves. Check it out. He says, I want to introduce 4 incredibly talented young men to all of you, Above Waves. I've been listening to their album for the last several months and I'm so impressed. This album has taken us over 2.5 years to put together and we couldn't be more proud of the final result. Seven, Tech, Dave and I set out on a mission almost 7 years ago to develop a popular music division for Strange Music, and Above Waves was one of our first signings more than 2 years ago. We've since added 2 other signings to this division. I love quality music, as you all well know, and this is incredible music. We're going to start rolling this out real soon. Stay tuned. So there you go, ninjas. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for more info on that pop division of Strange Music. And keep your eyes and ears peeled for a release date for that new Above Waves album coming out. Check it out, ninjas. The November 18th episode of Hoodoo's Hood on Psychopathic Radio, which of course is hosted by our homie Big Hoodoo. Big Hoodoo announced that for the year of 2017, starting in January, he will release a song every month. And all of those are going to be released on iTunes, so that's 12 songs for the whole year, which is fucking dope, homie. Check out the archives. You can actually find the link in the show notes for this episode, if they're up by now. I'm not going to lie, I didn't even watch or listen to the episode, probably because it wasn't up in the archives yet, but some ninjas emailed us to let us know that that was the news that he dropped, so hells yeah, looking forward to 2017 for sure, ninjas. So we got some very stale news to report on in regards to our homie Lil White. And actually, man, this fucking sucks, man. I would be so pissed off if I was him. What happened was, on November 2nd, he turned himself into the Shelby County Jail on a misdemeanor. He should have had a court date the next day, post bond, and leave. His bond was paid on November 4th, but he was not released from the jail until November 17th. And this is all because, well, it was reported, this is all because of some computer issues that the jail was having. I could give you all the details, but it was actually covered on the news, so check out the sound clip.
Tonight, countless people are stuck at Shelby County Jail, and not because of their crime, but because of glitches in the computer system.
For example, rapper Lil White, who's based out of Memphis, was just released this morning. He had a lengthy stay, and he says he shouldn't have been there that long.
Fox 13's Scott Mattis has this exclusive story. Scott joins us live at Shelby County Jail with details. Scott.
Well, good evening, Merle. 2 weeks ago is when Lil White went into jail on a misdemeanor. 2 weeks later, today, this morning at 5:30 in the morning is when he came out. Remember, we're talking about a misdemeanor.
I kind of make my own schedule. There's a lot of people in there that don't.
If you didn't know, this is internationally known rapper from Memphis, Lil White. He, like countless others, has been caught in the middle of the Criminal Justice Center computer system confusion.
I turned myself in 2 Wednesdays ago, as of today.
White turned himself in on misdemeanor charges. It's a similar story that we've heard time in and time out. White turned himself in on November 2nd, expecting a court date the next day, post bond, and be released from jail. But like so many others have experienced, that's not what happened.
The bond was paid on the 4th. I didn't get released until this morning, 5:30 in the morning, which is almost 2 weeks later.
White says throughout the ordeal, his paperwork was misplaced several times. He also tells me that at one point, his jail and court information was listed under a completely different name, which added to the confusion, adding that the cramped, overcrowded space was met by other obstacles.
There was a lack of toiletries. There was a lack of, beds. There was a lack of bunks. There was a lack of soap. Minimal food.
In the end, White tells me he's frustrated, also saying that he feels for the countless other people who are still inside 201, dealing with the continuing confusion.
You have people coming in on very small charges that are literally stuck for 2 weeks, like when they should have been in and out.
And those other people that we're talking about still, of course, inside the Criminal Justice Center, those 4 walls. I've been speaking with people out here on the sidewalk throughout the afternoon while we've been working on this story, and I can tell you that a lot of people are frustrated, infuriated, and we're, of course, going to stay on top of this story as we have from the very beginning, so stay with Fox 13 News both on air and online for the developments. Live downtown, Scott Mattis, Fox 13 News.
Should I chop him? Maybe shoot him. Kill him all. Use an axe or a gun. A knife. I'm gonna kill somebody. I wanna fucking kill somebody.
Alright, ninjas, there's a couple news items in this episode that I consider to be pretty big news items, and this is one of them. I'm talking about the pre-order packages now being available for Twisted's upcoming release, The Continuous Evolution of Life's ? That's right, the track list has also been made available on iTunes. 6 different pre-order bundles to choose from, and check it out, let's go through them. Let's see what we got. Pre-order bundle number 1, you get just the album. Number 2, you get the album and a dope poster featuring the album artwork. Number 3, you get the album and you get a 7-inch vinyl for the track Dead and Gone from the album. Number 4, you get the album and you get a dope Twisted charm, which is kind of like, it's like the old school logo with a new spin on it. It's pretty dope. Number 5, you get the album and you get an 18 by 24 canvas, and the canvas actually looks dope as fuck. Not 100% sure what it's supposed to be, but like I said, still looks dope as fuck. And number 4, you get the vinyl in a flat. And let me just say that the artwork for the vinyl looks fucking dope. It's like, I've never seen a vinyl with artwork that dope. And just the album itself, man, just the CD cover itself is like one of the dopest Twisted covers I've seen. I thought the Wicked cover was dope. Freak Show cover was dope. This fucking cover, man, I don't know. Maybe it could surpass those. It could surpass them. We just gotta see. Not only that, if you do pre-order on iTunes, you get Are You Insane Like Me and Nothing to You, the tracks, instantly. And I'm not done yet, ninjas. Also, with the album, you get 1 of 10 Ninja Stars. On the Ninja Stars, on one of the 10 Ninja Stars, you get 1 MNE artist. And out of the 10, we have available Madrox, Monoxide, Blaze, the ROC, Lex the Hexmaster, Gmoski, Boondock, Zodiac Imprint, House of Crazies, and a star containing the entire Magic Ninja roster. There are autographed stars to be found. Holy shit, ninjas, it looks like Twisted has a lot planned for this release. Hit up the link in the show notes if you want to check out those pre-order bundles, or if you want to hit up twistedshop.com. Link is in the description for that shit as well. Oh, and also, the CD release parties. I forgot about that shit. Twisted will be holding 3 different CD release parties in 3 different cities on January 27th to celebrate the release of the album, The Continuous Evolution of Life's ? The first CD release party is going down in Hollywood, California at the Whiskey A Go-Go. Performances by Twisted and Gmoski. The second CD release party is going down at the Roxy in Denver, Colorado, and will feature Boondocks and Young Wicked. And the third party is going down at the Palladium in Worcester, and will feature Blaze, the ROC, and Lex the Hexmaster performing for you. Check that shit out, homies.
Shoot 'em, kill 'em all. Use an axe or a gun, a knife or a chainsaw. I'm gonna kill somebody. I wanna fucking kill somebody.
Alright, ninjas. This is going to be like the next giant news story. And there's so much news crammed into this one, I'm just going to try and get it all out without trying to detail too much. We got a surprise Hatchet Herald on November 17th. And there was so much news in this Hatchet Herald that reporting on it, it's almost like reporting on a ICP seminar at the Gathering of the Juggalos. That's how much fucking news was in this Hatchet Herald. I did go through and post a lot of these as their own individual posts on Faygoluvers.net, but I'm going to see if I can't just get all the news out right here in one little news segment. We'll see if we can do this. Check it out, homies. A Carnival Christmas EP, the Carnival Christmas vinyl is available right now at hatchetgear.com. JuggaloMarch.com will be going live on January 1st. That's where you can get all your information on that march coming up in September. A new infomercial will be dropping on January 1st, likely covering the goings-on at Psychopathic Records for 2017. The Gathering of the Juggalos will take place on the West Coast for the year of 2017. A new Blase Rose music video for the track White Lights will be coming out soon, and that shit has already been filmed. A Psychopathic cipher titled If We Were a Gang is coming soon. The Tunnel of Love EP, the vinyl edition, will be available in both the regular and the XXX cover starting February 3rd, just in time for Valentine's Day. Dark Lotus, Tales from the Lotus Pod, the vinyl, will be available on Juggalo Day. And there's going to be a Juggalo Day edition and a regular edition, which you can grab at stores and at Hatchet Gear and shit. But the rare one's going to be that Juggalo Day edition, so snatch that shit up while you can. There's going to be a double disc vinyl of Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope's favorite ICP rarities coming soon. Straight Jacket is now Psychopathic Records' in-house producer, and I've been trying to get an interview with that ninja for the past 2 months, before I even knew he was signed, or not signed, before I even knew that he was working with Psychopathic. I've been trying to get an interview with that ninja. But either way, Straight Jacket, congrats homie. And Psychopathic Records has officially signed a new artist. No details on that as of yet, but we kind of have to wait and see. And I kind of hope it's Straight Jacket, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, ninjas, Hatchet Herald, surprise edition, November 17th. Check it out. Alright, ninjas, so we're going to get into the interview that we did with Intrinsic. We're just going to play, maybe 5 or 6 minutes of that shit. Just a little preview for what's in store on the next episode of the podcast. After that, we're going to get into some commercial breaks, and after that, we're going to get right into our interview that we did with the Jokerr. Stick around.
A toast to the lost ones. INT recognize. Let's go.
When was it that you initially started rapping? When did you get into the game?
I'm not really good with dates, but it was a long time ago. I was in a band called Fall Guy, and we got put in contact with Twisted and started opening up shows for them. And we were more of like a hardcore band with a little bit of rapping, sort of like if you listen to any hardcore, we were going for like that Earth Crisis, Slither type of Earth Crisis era. So then when the Twisted thing happened, we sort of crossed over to more of a rap metal band with kind of more intricate lyrics than a typical rap metal band and more intricate metal than a typical rap metal band. So we took kind of like a Darkest Hour / Pantera meets like an Eminem / more of a sophisticated hip-hop lyricist than, say, like a Fred Durst or OD. So we took it to both extremes of the metal and the hip-hop. And then that was probably, like, I'm horrible with dates, but right around 2001, 2002, I'd say.
Alright, you guys started playing shows and releasing albums and shit like that around that time?
Yeah, so that was like before the whole thing happened where everyone started rapping. You still had to go to a studio to record. You had to actually play shows before you recorded your music because you wanted to make sure. I mean, if you're in a band, hip-hop and metal are totally switched out. When you're in a band, you play your songs out live before you record them, and when you're a rapper, you play your songs. You record your songs first, and then you play them live. So we were doing the studio thing. This was back when CDs still actually sold, and it was very transitional into the internet era. So we were like right on the cusp of a grassroots band with an internet buzz.
So were you more influenced by metal or rap coming up then? Probably metal then, by the sounds of it.
I mean, it's hard to, like, I would go through phases where I'd have, like as a kid growing up, I would go through phases. I'd have, like, all my metal shit, and then I'd trade all that in and get all hip-hop shit, and then I'd trade all that in and get all metal shit. I'd go back and forth until, like, I realized I could just have both. I didn't have to be, like, identified with one genre of music, so I would have, like, Metallica, Pantera, Slayer, Guns and and then I was real into the hair metal thing because I grew up in the 80s, so I like Motley Crue and Poison and Whitesnake, and then I had like Exodus, all the Headbangers Ball shit, and then I would like trade all that shit in and get Public Enemy, Ghetto Boys, NWA, what else, just like old, Black Power type hip hop shit, and then I'd go back and get like the Metallica, the Pantera, and then I finally, like around middle school or like early high school, I was just like, fuck it, dude. I had a split CD collection, hip hop, metal, And I think that's probably how most of these people who were in these like rap metal bands and the more like horrorcore type rappers who couldn't really rely on street credibility or being a gangster, I think all those people sort of came up that same way, like listening to, because Def Jam was Slayer and Beastie Boys, so you could still like with the same record label but get a totally different record, you know, because Rick Rubin was making Slayer records and he was making Beastie Boys records, so you could kind of like see like that it was okay to listen to both types of music.
Limp Bizkit was on Def Jam, were they not?
Well, they were on Interscope, and then
that's what it was, right?
Yeah, and then Cash Money signed them, and then they kind of pretty much dismantled. But they were an Interscope thing. They were, you know, like DMX, Ludacris. Well, DMX, Ludacris were Def Jam, but they were Method Man and all those. Like they probably had some sort of interest with Def Jam because all those artists featured on the Limp Bizkit record. So I don't know like the business side of Limp Bizkit, but I know they were on Interscope and Terry Date. They're good albums.
Right, they're good album.
I liked the first one, $3 Bill was it called?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked Significant Other. I liked the chocolate flavored hot dog, whatever the fuck. And I liked the one after that. And then
oh shit.
I just stopped listening to them. But I always liked Limp Bizkit. I mean, I felt like they were a pretty good band. They were cheesy, whatever, but like, I don't know, I felt they were a pretty good band. Like, they had a really good drummer, really good, obviously, DJ Lethal is a fucking amazing DJ. Wes Borland is an amazing guitar player, and then Durst was just whatever. You just kind of had to put up with him to listen to the band. So I never, like, took him too seriously, but I still jam some of their shit, dude. I mean, if I get bored with whatever. I don't really listen to music. I see music, and their music is very, like, red and maroon to me, so I like that color because not many records are like that color to me, so I really like that Limp Bizkit flavor.
What do you mean by they're really red and maroon to you? What does that mean?
I don't when I listen to music, I feel like I see it. I don't really listen to music, I see it in front of me, and then so their sound is very red and maroon. It's like I like that color, so I like that music.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what color would like ICP's music be?
Like just because of their marketing, like black and purple, and like just real. I mean, I know like this is a Juggalo thing, but I'm just not into ICP, dude. Like their music just never did it for me. Like Twisted more, I could kind of fuck with Twisted music. I probably just fucking pissed off the last 10 bands I had or whatever, but I mean, ICP was just like black and like you got a, you know, like green and like not green, but like fluorescent green. It's black, fluorescent green, and fluorescent purple. It's carnival music.
15 years, pedal to the metal, but I'm never switching gears. I got history here, you can miss me queer with that Mark shit. Listen, kiddies, Chris's to be fed. 59 volumes, 2K each. That's 120,000 units crawling in the streets. I got visions of bikini women sprawling on the beach. Still the process is repeated, cause we all are gonna eat. Ayy, we some grindaholics, work so damn hard, cause I never went to college. Never take solace in profits, they prey on like a knowledge. The Matrix reboots and the holograms revolving.
HatchetGear.com, the place to find all the latest psychopathic gear. We carry the freshest threads and the fattest merch for every juggalo and juggalette. And our Hatchet is always chopping prices. Sit your ass down, get online, and peep out HatchetGear.com.
Hey yo, this is the one and only R.A., the Rugged Man, and I'm chilling with my boy, the Jokerr. And this isn't just a shout out, like, yo, shout out to Jokerr. Jokerr, I know him personally. I'm in his house. You know, he's treating me like family and putting in some real work. Really seriously talented dude. Working on some fucking music. He's banging out the kicks, the snares, helping me with arrangement and production and some chorus vocals. And we're going to do a record together, too. So I'm just up here in California rocking. He's Arizona originally, but now we're West Coast right now working on that music shit. He's got his fucking clothing, his jackets coming. He's got his music, his videos. He's like a jack of all trades, this dude Joker. And he's got a good heart. And you look at him, you don't know what he is. If he's a black guy, a white guy, a fucking a WWF wrestler, or like a lawyer. He's like this fucking chameleon guy that just fits into all scenes. He's the real Joker.
Welcome back to the Faygoluvers Podcast. Homie Roscoe here with you, and I'm here once again with my homie the Joker. Joker, how the hell you doing, brother?
J to the O, up in this bitch. Faygoluvers, you know what I'm saying? Roscoe, doing it big. I can't believe this freaking year is like done already. We were just talking about that. It's crazy.
I know, right, brother? And how freaking warm it is up here, too, man. I can't believe it.
Dude, it was like 88 degrees in LA yesterday. I'm not joking. It's like I'm actually getting annoyed and somewhat bitter at the weather system in general. It's like frustrating. It's like cool off.
Right. Well, shit, man. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us again on the Faygoluvers Podcast. Well, the first time on the podcast. So we're not going to actually go through all the Juggalo-related questions like we did last time. This is more of like, let's get to know the Joker a little bit, if that's cool.
For sure, for sure.
So first question is, when did you first start performing?
I feel like no matter what I say, it sounds scripted because my voice is animated. and I'm always trying to find a way to make like a joke out of any situation or just make anything like exuberant. So this is not scripted, everybody. Listen, this is like
you are the Joker.
Yes, but this is just so you guys don't think that this is like some like I'm not going to interrupt this with John Cena or something like this. This is live in the flesh. We talked about it.
Oh, people think that last shit was scripted or something?
Well, I hear myself objectively and I'm like, man, it sounds like this is all written up. You know?
Right. No, I hear what you said. I kind of get that vibe from you too, homie.
Yeah, I'm too calculated with shit. Like I'm always thinking, like I'm listening to how it's sounding from like the third person perspective, like the next 30 seconds of the conversation before I even say anything. So, my apologies if it sounds like. Okay, back to your question. I've been a performer my whole life. Like when I was 3 years old, straight up 3 years old, I used to stand up at this little nook in the wall at this mall that we would go to eat at and act like I was performing to my family. And also when I was 3, I got my first like toy drum kit for Christmas and I started banging on that. Every year from when I was like 3 on, I would beg for like one of those little toy drum kits you get at Toys R Us as like one of my main things. And every year I'd get like a new variation of that. And then by the time I was like 7, I started getting into school band and taking drum lessons and piano lessons and kind of getting more into music and whatnot. So I feel like I've been performing pretty much like my whole life.
Would you like imitate any like certain artists when you would do that? Who's your influences, I guess, is what I'm asking.
Well, when I was really young, I'm interracial. I'm half black, half white. So it was pretty interesting because my dad, his favorite band was Cameo. Larry Blackman and Tommy Jenkins, and like Cameo's a huge funk band. They're like, if you don't know who Cameo is, you've heard people sample their stuff. Like big, huge pop artists, hip hop artists, for the last 20 years have been sampling their stuff. So he was obsessed with them, and of course, like a little boy wants to be like his dad. So I really got into to Cameo, Earth, Wind and Fire, like the Gap Band, all the big like, funk-driven bands from the 70s and 80s and early 90s. But then on my white side of my family, like my grandparents were all into country. Like they were just straight, like my white side of the family is straight all-American, Oklahoma, Texas, like country people. So I was listening on that side to like Dolly Parton, George Strait, Willie Nelson, like all the famous like country people from that time. So I was early on, I was exposed to two completely like diametrically opposed cultures and musical influences, and that's what really like created a beautiful little melting pot of influences in my young developing mind, which I'm thankful for now, because I can see how it's allowed me to think different ways musically, you know, not just be stuck or relegated into this one little box or one little feel. I got the real heavy, like rhythmic driven type stuff from the more Earth, Wind and Fire, Cameo, Gap Band funk stuff, and I got the more storytelling, song structure from the country stuff. And super early on, you know, I was influenced from those two different sides.
So when was it that you actually got into like the juggalo side of things, the juggalo music?
So let me think. So when I was the first artist I ever listened to that really got me into actually hip hop, I got to give you a little bit of a bridge, because going from like when I was a little baby kid to like juggalo world, there was a few steps in there I should probably tell you. Like the first artist that really got me excited about hip hop was Snow. This artist named Snow.
Oh, snap. I know Snow. Isn't he Canadian?
Yeah, he's Canadian. Yep.
Hells yeah, brother.
He did that song, Informer, in 1991 or 1992, I think. Maybe 93. It was that Informer, you know, so that I'm snow me Jacob Lamb. I lick your bum down. Take the man and say that I'm snow me stab someone down the land. I lick your bum down. When I first heard that shit, I was like, oh my God, this shit is dope. So in 91 or 92, 93, I think I was maybe 7 or 8 years old, somewhere in there, really young. And I would call into the radio station over and over and over and request that shit. I would listen to it all the time. And then that got me into the fast rapping and the rhythmic side of things, and then rapping on beat, and then the more, you know, hip hop feel. From then on, I was exposed to Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, the West Coast rap stuff a little bit later after that, 94, 95. I got into Coolio, Warren G, all those dudes. That really got me into the hip hop side of things. Now, I was into that for a while, and then Bone Thugs came out. I completely lost my shit when Bone Thugs came out, because that was like a combination of Snow and the Dr. Dre stuff. They had the gritty kind of street thing, but it also had the fast rapping and the melody. So for me, it was like a beautiful combination. It was right in line with what I already had liked, but just done in a way that just was totally captivating. Was heavily into that. Then I remember when I was 12 years old, my friend Art, who's like my best friend, brought over a burned CD of Great Milenko, and he played it for me, and we sat there and just cracked up listening to this album like for like hours on end. We had sleepovers and we would split headphones and listen to it, and from then on I was just completely hooked. I think the first ICP concert I ever went to was in 97 or 98, and it was at Club Rio in Tempe. And Violent J had just cut his hair off, or his dreadlocks off. And I went to that concert, and I lost my shit. I was completely blown away. I had never seen anything like that, never been involved with anything like that. From then on, I was hooked.
Oh man, infamous time for ICP at that point. And big props to Bone Thugs. And you actually know what happened to Snow since 91?
He's still doing stuff, but I mean, I feel like he's still doing stuff, but his name is Darren O'Brien, and he's still doing stuff, but I think he just went down to where where that type of music is more celebrated and released more in Jamaica and in the Caribbean, and has kind of faded from mainstream. Because I think at that time it was just the perfect intersection of when hip hop was just coming on the scene and people were looking for hip hop novelties. And he was super talented, but he was injecting that heavy reggae theme into hip hop and into the world of pop culture. And he was also white, which was cool. So we had that same effect that Eminem did, except in the reggae hip hop scene, where it's like you hear this dude and you're like, wow, this guy's amazing, but then you find out that he's white, and it blows your mind. You're like, god damn, this dude's murdering it. So I think he just focused more down in that world where he's more celebrated, that music's more popular. You know, I think hip hop just kind of the mainstream kind of deviated from that. So the last time I checked, though, he's still doing stuff. He's still going strong, and I'm always forever going to be a fan of that guy. Like that dude's like one of my legends. Like I'd be more excited to meet him than I would be like the biggest pop star ever right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, because I met Twisted for the first time a few days ago, and I told Jamie Madrox the same thing. I was like, yo, man, I'm more excited meeting you than I would be meeting, you know, Kanye West or freaking you name whoever the biggest, or Drake or something like that. Because for me, it's never been how big somebody is or what numbers are behind them. It's more like, how did you affect me? You know what I mean? How did you influence my life? Like, you were the person I was listening to when I was going through shit, when I was having trouble at home, when I was watching my mom get beat up by my dad, or you name it. Like the time that I was sitting there listening to your music, and that was giving me the strength to get through the day and give me the hope to look for a better future for myself and for my family. Like that's the shit that really matters. So for me, like, yeah, Snow's a legend. I think he's still doing some stuff, but it's more important about like the person and how they have affected me than the numbers they have behind them.
I totally 100% agree with that and totally get that for sure, brother. I'd rather have dinner with people from Magic Ninja or Psychopathic Records than, like you said, Kanye West or anybody like that, Eminem.
I don't know about Eminem. I probably would lose my shit if I met Eminem.
I was actually just gonna say maybe not Eminem
because he's in that same vein. Like when Eminem came out, was at 99. I was still a teenager, so I was still in that developmental stage, and he just like, if anybody says that Eminem did not influence them and they're a rapper, they are straight lying. Like they're either hating or they're straight lying, because what Eminem did was he took rap to a place that people didn't know it could be or it could go. He showed you that you could do things with the English language and rhythm that no one knew you could do. So, I mean, just the strides that he took when he came on the scene are just unparalleled, and they never will be ever paralleled again in hip-hop. So he's another person I would lose my shit if I met as well. Eminem is to rap what Einstein was to, like, physics. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
that has a good analogy, yeah.
Yeah, because like, there's been better physicians... Or physicians, well, I mean, better physicists. There's been better or people who have done more advanced quantum calculations and whatnot than Einstein ever was exposed to when he was alive. But when you look at where that field was when Einstein came on the scene and where it was when he left the scene, that growth because of him and what he did will never be replicated. And I feel the same way about like Eminem and rap and hip hop. Like that growth, there's never going to be a revolution as much as the revolution that he caused when he showed up on the scene, just from a lyricist standpoint. People will disagree with me on that, but I'm just keeping it real. Like that's just how I feel.
Right. No, I don't disagree with you on that, brother. And I think it even came as a surprise to most rap fans and to Eminem himself when that shit happened, right? Shit just blew the fuck up for him, right?
Yeah, I mean, Dr. Dre saw it. He saw that X factor that he had, and it was over. And it was undeniable, man. That feeling that you got when you heard him do what he did, it was just you can't replicate that, man. Even today, like people are trying forever to replicate that energy.
Right. But you mentioned in our exclusive interview that you're not even really a rap fan.
Not now.
I was gonna say, I assume you're still a fan of the old school rap, right? But just maybe the shit coming out now, you're not into, or
I mean, it's like. If you work at Dunkin' Donuts, when you get off work, the last thing you want to eat is a donut. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's kind of how I put it. Not to mention, rap has very much devolved. It kind of maxed out its technical limits, and then it started devolving into other things. It's no longer about being the best artist. It's not about being the best artist you can possibly be and pushing the limits of the art. It's now about creating caricatures that are going to garner attention using the art as the medium through which to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you get these different novelties from year to year. It's like this thing is popular this year, this thing is popular this year, but it's not an upward trend as far as quality. It's just lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? It's just change, basically. It's not necessarily somebody coming on the scene and really inspiring people. And unfortunately, I think that's just the nature of any particular genre or subfield of music, man. Like, it gets maxed out, and there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere you can really go once you've had a Cannabis and an Eminem and a Big L and a Rakim and all these people, these legends and a DMX. Like, nowadays, I was talking to Glasses Malone about this the other day, man. Like, nowadays, you're not getting these new amazing novel artists who are taking leaps and bounds and pushing the art forward. You're getting people who are finding more ways to make the shit cornier to get it, just to get attention, using that as the means to get the attention. The quality of the actual music is really not necessary. And then also collectively, you got to think, man, like the people who were buying the Eminem stuff in 1999. It's 2017 coming up here, man. Those fools are those people have like full grown kids now. Like those fools that were like millennial age in 1999 are now in their like mid to late 30s, early 40s, and have full-grown kids, those kids they don't have the connection to that era of hip-hop that we do. So generationally, that shit fades, and eventually it just becomes irrelevant. And what it's faded into is just something that I can't relate to, I don't really like, I don't enjoy, and it's a de-evolution of what it once was and what I do appreciate. So, I just don't. It doesn't do anything for me. It's like, sure, yeah, I can enjoy a dope beat, I can enjoy the club records and the things, but for the most part, I'm not inspired or excited by that, and I do it. So it's like, you can't. It's hard to. You listen to music for entertainment value, and it's entertaining to see things done that you can't do. It's not entertaining to watch somebody do something that you can do better than them, worse than you. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
There's no entertainment value there. So
right.
Yeah. So it's not like fuck rap, I hate rap. It's just it doesn't.
What does inspire you then, like musically, if rap doesn't anymore?
Well, musically, like I like stuff that I can't do. So I play piano, I play drums, I play guitar a little bit, and I do hip hop and I do kind of pop synergistic type music. So I like genres to listen to for entertainment's sake that are just something that's so far away from that I can actually be inspired by. So I'll listen to love Coldplay, obviously. They're just epic, legendary. Bon Iver or Bon Iver. I listen to Irish and English folk music a lot. There's an artist named Cara Dillon who I like. There's another artist named Kate Rudsby who I like. I listen to like American bluegrass and American folk music. I like Nickel Creek, huge fan of them. There's a band called the Waylon Ginnies that are these three girls with beautiful voices that all play kind of folky American music that is just incredible. You listen to that music. I like singer-songwriters too. I like this girl named Charlotte Martin. She's super dope, super dope, like crazy talented, with such a deep, rich, elaborate discography. And she has 10 albums. You can just sit there and put on a playlist and go all over with it. Stuff like that. Stuff that's not in my world, that's so far out of my world that I can listen to it and be like, wow, that's amazing. Somebody can play a freaking a guitar like that, or somebody can play what's the little baby guitar called?
Ukulele?
Not a ukulele. I'm mad that I can't think of it. In bluegrass bands, I
can't help you on that one, brother.
I'm gonna Google that right now while we're talking about it because it's gonna piss me off.
All right.
Chris Thiele from Nickel Creek is like a complete pro on that thing. Oh my god, I'm so mad.
And you know how to play that thing?
No, it's a mandolin.
Freaking a mandolin, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, that was pissing me off. I was about to punch my computer screen. I hate that. So yeah, I'm like, how do you play that mandolin like that? Like, how the hell can you move your fingers over that baby little guitar that effective, and make those. And you know what I like about them too is that a lot of the bluegrass and folk musicians are very music orientated. And by that I mean they're actually musicians. It's not just let's produce a beat and let's do a dope funny song over it or something like that. Like, these fools know what it sounds like to play in a ridiculous time signature, like 7/8, 9/8, and 15/16, and they're switching between these things. It's some serious hardcore musicianship there. So that's what's exciting to me, and that's what's inspiring to me too, just from a musician standpoint. Because I rap and I do all the fun stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm like a trained musician. Like, I studied this stuff. Like, I know how to read and write music. I know music theory. You know what I'm saying? So like, when I'm listening to things outside of what I do, I enjoy that musicianship, and you can't really get that in rap a lot of times because a lot of it is just so formulaic.
All right, brother. So we're getting pretty close to the end here, and the one question I wanted to ask, and actually you kind of maybe already answered it. Didn't answer the question, but you kind of let us know what it is that you're into. If you were stuck on a deserted island and you had a Discman and you only had 3 CDs, what 3 CDs would you bring with you?
Oh, man, that's a tough one, man. That's like these conceptual. These conceptual little hypothetical situations are always tough.
Right.
God.
I do this every episode, man. Every guest goes through this shit.
God dang it, dude. Let me think. Okay, one of them that I probably have to have would be the Bon Iver stuff or the Bon Iver stuff. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. Probably the self-titled Bon Iver CD. It's freaking amazing. If you guys haven't heard it, it's spelled B-O-N space I-V-E-R. B-O-N space I-V-E-R. Bon Iver or Bon Iver. It's amazing. Both of they have a bunch of CDs, but the self-titled one is just phenomenal. Probably like East 1999 Eternal from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah. And then just because of the nostalgic value, Great Malenko. There it is.
Wow, man. Oh, 3 great choices. I'm not really familiar with the first one there, but definitely on board with the East 1999 and Malenko for sure.
Hell yeah, son. That's that shit.
Is there anything that you want to let the fans know that you want to let all the listeners know?
Yeah. I got a brand new music video out. It's called I Stay Ready. It's really funny. I dress myself up as a fat golfer dad, and I go out to a golf course and just spit bars, like crazy bars. It's a dope, funny, hilarious video, high energy, punchlines galore. Check that out. Also, I am currently booking a tour, my first tour. It's called the Small Beginnings Tour. So if you have anybody who is a promoter or a venue owner anywhere in the country and you want to bring me out, get in contact with me. The management email is management@thejokerr.com. Just the word management@thejokerr.com, spelled like I spell my name with 2 R's, TheJokerr. And we can connect the dots. I would love to come out and perform at a place near you.
All right, and links for that are going to be in the show notes to this episode as well. So
yeah,
check
absolutely. So check out the new music video and bring me out to your freaking venue close to you so that we can get it in with the J to the O. You know what I'm saying?
Hells yeah, brother. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Jokerr.
Absolutely, man. Much love to you guys. Whoop, whoop.
Colombian drug lords are awesome. Pablo Escobar was the man. He was the man. If you can put a hit out on the cops, on all the cops, you have a hit out on the cops? You got a hit out on the president. What are you talking about? All right, I got the president on my hit list. Check. All right. Oh, you're going to put me in prison? I'll build the prison with my own lounge and a soccer games. And a disco in my prison. All right. Do I get to get out whenever I like to go see a soccer game? Yes. Football? Check. Got that. Do I have secret passages leading out of the prison? Check. All the homies, all the hookers, and all the parties I like in my personal built prison. Check. Oh, is there a spot that's buried all the dead bodies I murder while in prison? Check. And right. I'll decide to leave prison for good because I'll get bored and want to leave anyway. Check. Oh, is there a secret passage for my 16-year-old prostitutes to get in?
All right, homies, that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. But before we leave, I said that we're going to do a new segment that we're calling 5-Star Reviews. So here we go. I got 1 5-star review from a ninja named Jim Alicanta, and I'm going to read this shit to you ninjas right now. Here we go. Check it out. It says, your favorite underground news source, now in podcast form. Roscoe from Faygoluvers keeps it fresh every week, bringing us the latest news of the underground, as well as a dope interview with someone of the underground world. The interviews are always hard-hitting and informative. If you're a Faygoluvers fanatic, as I am, the podcast is a must-listen. Fuck yeah, homie. That sounds like some professional, reviewer type shit, Ninja. So I want to thank you so much for that review, homie. And yeah, you get props for that shit for sure. Alright, homies, that's going to do it for this episode. I want to thank the Jokerr for coming on and talking to me for a second time for putting up with my ass. Thank you so much, homie. I want to thank Intrinzik, who I literally just interviewed last night for the podcast. So thank you so much for coming on, homie. And big shout out to Chad Carson. I hope that you meet your goal, and I hope you can get your laptop and hard drive back and get back on that Faygoluvers grind, homie. Hit up iTunes, give me a 4 or 5-star review. We'll read that shit on the podcast. You have any comments, questions, concerns, you want to advertise with us, anything, hit me up, Roscoe@Faygoluvers.net. I ain't got nothing else to say, ninjas, so until next time, this is Roscoe reminding you to keep an open mind. Peace.
A lot of people ask me why I did this old school Eminem intro on this song. That doesn't even make chronological sense.
I know. Now it's a double-edged sword.
good. When you messing with the wordsmith, a dangerous game, homie, I just wouldn't encourage it. I've been known to murder shit, been known to drop a couple cracks on the whack rapper's back, snap vertebrates. I suplex bitches on the mic and in real life. I'm damaging shit. Your clan is like amateur night. You average at best. I've never been even close to it. I could be spitting in sign language and still roasting shit. I'm the Joker, so the shit I do, niggas laugh at it. I join a militant sect of a Black Panther chapter and get active with them. Show up at Black Lives Matter with a gat and bust a cap in the ass of Colin Kaepernick. When niggas flip out, I'll just be like, I'm half black and shit. And they just be like, oh, okay, cool. It doesn't matter. Yo, but now I'm jumping fences, cause I did the same shit with the Ku Klux Klan to Trump at the Republican convention. You could catch me walking down the street, bitch. You can catch me flossing out my teeth, bitch. Whether I'm trying to relax at the beach or practice my chi, nigga, it doesn't matter to me. I stay ready, yeah, ready for war, ready for blood. Yeah, ready for dirt, ready for mud. Bitch, you can aim, shoot, and empty the slugs, but you won't ever get the drop on me simply because I stay ready. Get the drop on the Joker, I'm too swift. I sleep with my eyes pried open with toothpicks. I sleep standing up out in the cold on my stoop, gripping a shotty big enough to blow a hole through a moose wit. I juke quick in and out the game as I choose. 1 second I'm there, the next I'm not. I aim to confuse every possible public version of my name is a ruse. My available information so hazy and skewed. I got niggas in the UK thinking I'm from the States. Got niggas way up north thinking I'm from the A. Got niggas on the West Coast thinking I'm from the East. But I'll beat you with an atlas for thinking I'm not a beast. The way that the blessed track, you think I'm the rhyming priest. Say grace and eat rappers at the holy rhyming feast. I'll chop them in half with my giant teeth while I'm holding them, feet dangling, vertically gulping them. I told you I stay ready. You could catch me walking down the street, bitch. You could catch me flossing out my teeth, bitch. I could be blowing the stack at the mall or scratching my balls, nigga, it doesn't matter at all. I stay ready, yeah, ready for war, ready for blood. Yeah, ready for dirt, ready for mud. Bitch, you can aim, shoot, and empty the slugs, but you won't ever get the drop on me simply because the bottom line is you whack, my nigga, you whack serious. Your teeth are covered with plaque made out of whackteria. If you a pharaoh, they bury you in a whack pyramid. Every word that proceeds from your mouth is just whack, period. You're seriously whack in all areas. Lyricism, whack shows, whack merchandise, whack appearances. When you die, your funeral will be whack, I'm over ya. I sneeze when I'm next to you, I got whacknophobia. Listen to the Joker, bruh, I'm digging like a gopher does. Lift you by the throat and body slam you like the Hulk because I got the vendetta to serve. I'm known to hold a grudge. 50,000 volts from the socket here. Hold this plug. And when it comes to the rhymes, nigga, you know this. I'm supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. The top gun. You want some top rhyming flow shit? I'm here, dick out for Harambe posted, nigga. I stay ready. You could catch me walking down the street, bitch. You can catch me flossing out my teeth, bitch. I could be catching the fish at the river or taking the shit. It just doesn't make a difference, my nigga. I stay ready. Yeah, ready for war, ready for blood. Yeah, ready for dirt, ready for mud. Bitch, you can aim, shoot, and empty the slugs, but you won't ever get the drop on me simply because I stay ready.
You can hold us, and we ain't got the scruples to come fight for six. So your best is better get ready. Listen, they call me genius, I run the show. Something I can't say.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.